Roku just announced some big updates to their streaming player lineup and a new Roku OS update. We're gonna go through it all coming up on this Streamable First Look. What's up streamers, it's Jason from the Streamable, and Roku just announced the Roku Streaming Stick 4K and the Roku Streaming Stick 4K Plus and a whole new update to the Roku Ultra LT. And we're gonna go through all of the features of those products along with their brand new Roku OS 10.5. And I'm gonna tell you some of my favorite features in that update. Before I get going, make sure you hit that like button. The more people who like this, the more people will see it, and the more great content I can keep bringing to you. And make sure you hit subscribe. One of our first 10,000 subscribers has a chance to win an all new Roku Ultra. And we're almost there, so you're not gonna wanna miss your chance. So the Roku Streaming Stick 4K is a major upgrade to the Roku Streaming Stick Plus. It includes a whole new processor, which the Roku team says is the same but better version of the processor that is used in the Roku Express 4K, which was launched in April. They also told me that it has double the memory than the previous Roku Streaming Stick Plus. So what that equates to is they told me that the Roku should boot about 30% faster and you should see better performance launching channel. The Wi-Fi has improved as well. You should see better range and up to twice the speeds that were available on the Roku Streaming Stick Plus. But for streaming lovers, probably the best enhancement is the Roku Streaming Stick 4K now supports Dolby Vision, which used to only be available in the latest Roku Ultra models. So with the Roku Streaming Stick 4K, you'll be able to stream up to 4K at 60 frames a second in HDR, HDR10 Plus, and Dolby Vision. And while it doesn't support Dolby Atmos natively, you'll still need the Roku Ultra for that. It does support Dolby Atmos pass-through in addition to Dolby Digital 5.1. It still includes the Roku voice remote with TV controls, so you can still control power and volume on your television. But there is an option if you want this device and the all-new Roku Voice Remote Pro. Roku is introducing the Roku Streaming Stick 4K Plus, which includes the Roku Streaming Stick 4K, but also includes the Roku Voice Remote Pro. If you remember from my previous videos, the Roku Voice Remote Pro is a huge upgrade compared to the standard Roku voice remotes. It has three major features. First, it's rechargeable. Second, it is hands-free, so you can say things like, "Hey Roku, where's my remote?" and it will start beeping so you can find it. And third, it supports private listening, so you can just plug in a pair of headphones and listen and not bothering anyone else in the room. That is available for $69.99, which is a $10 savings over if you purchase them separately. The final product that Roku announced today is an all-new Roku Ultra LT, which is the cheaper alternative to the Roku Ultra and is available only in Walmart stores. So the Roku Ultra LT is now more comparable to the Roku Ultra that they launched last year. It's added things like support for Bluetooth and Dolby Vision. And unlike the more expensive Roku Ultra, it doesn't support Dolby Atmos natively, but it does support pass-through. Roku says it comes with a faster processor, more storage, and you should expect about 50% better Wi-Fi range. Whether you want to buy one of these new devices or you already have a Roku streaming player or Roku TV, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to go through some software enhancements you're going to get in Roku OS 10.5. But if you want to buy one of these, they'll all be available starting in mid-October. The Roku Streaming Stick 4K is available for $49.99. The bundle with the Roku Voice Remote Pro is $69.99, and the Roku Ultra LT is available for $79.99, and that one is only available at Walmart stores. So when these new devices ship, they'll have Roku OS 10.5, which is also available to those with existing Roku streaming players and Roku TVs. So what exactly are you going to get in Roku 10.5? Well, the biggest two areas are making it easier to access your content and simplifying setup. So in terms of accessing your content, they now are making the live TV guide more accessible. So what this is the grid guide of free streaming channels available from the Roku channel. On Roku streaming players right now, you have to go into the Roku channel to access them. And in Roku OS 10.5, there's now a tile that you can directly access. Also, a really cool feature is something that Roku calls direct playback. That's like if you say something like play Moana on Disney Plus, well, they've added two new partners, Netflix and Spotify. So now you can use those voice commands to immediately launch your favorite shows on Netflix or play your favorite music on Spotify. They've also added a nice enhancement where you can now use your voice to type in passwords, so you don't need to use the remote to do that. Another new feature is you can now search for podcasts and music, which will now show in the search results with video. So if you have a music subscription and you want to play it through your Roku Stream Bar or on your TV through your streaming player, you can do that even easier than before. In terms of simplifying the overall Roku experience, they've made it so you can do a lot of things from the Roku app and control your TV. One of those is sound settings. If you don't want to interrupt what you're watching, you can now change them directly from the Roku app. They also have this other cool feature for people who use private listening. While there's usually a lag when you're using Bluetooth headphones, they've made it so you can actually better sync up the Bluetooth headphones that you would be using to listen through your mobile device of what's playing on your TV. So one final enhancement, they have also updated the Roku mobile app, so there's a whole new home experience where you can access category zones, and then on top of it, you can save shows so you can access them later and quickly have them display on your Roku TV or Roku streaming player. If you want to learn more about Roku OS 10.5, there's a whole bunch more at thestreamable.com. There's a link in the description below. And if you want to learn more about the Roku Streaming Stick 4K, 4K Plus, and all new Roku Ultra LT, there's a link in the description below on those as well. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you smash that like button. The more people who like this, the more people see it, and the more great content I can keep bringing to you. And make sure you hit subscribe. We're going to be reviewing all of these brand new Roku devices, and you won't want to miss it. Visit us all week long at thestreamable.com for the latest in streaming news and reviews. For The Streamable, I'm Jason. Have a great week.